here you are now in the conversation. I'm just going to say, for me, and being a man, what causes a man to lose interest is when a woman is, you know, physical, not physically, but emotionally, rather emotionally abusive, right? Meaning that, the things that she would say from her mouth can cause a man to be emotionally wounded. And so sometimes she would speak some negative stuff. And even though you're in the relationship with her and you would sit with her and say, boy, babes, me not like this. This is what she does constantly, even when you talk to her. And so because of that, I see it as a situation where men on a whole, even when they left that relationship, they go into a next relationship, and that situation is there with them, simply because they have not gotten over it, constantly doing it. When you're in that relationship with the next woman, you keep on circulating. It's there in your memory, it's there in your heart, and so it causes you to be in a place where you're saying, okay, this woman is going to be like the next woman, so you're not going to be easily to let down your guard as a man, so it tours the emotional psyche, it tours the emotional balance of who you are as a man. And so that's why one of the many reasons why men, even though that happen, men begin to have a problem where trust is concerning also, because that can also lead to a trust issue, right? Because when you can do that, the man, not just because of the relationship and in terms of cheating, but man develop a trust issue overall based on what you can do as a woman to hurt them emotionally, and it leads to a physical status with them based on how they view you as a woman, how you come across to them. And so because of that, especially if you have a man that is on a level that is not very domineering, but he's caring, compassionate, right? And so you would often see that man is not like many other men. So when you see that as a woman, because some women like strong man. And so what happens is that when you see that as a man being that soft and caring, you begin to use that very same situation against him, right? And even though he explains to you and says, listen, babes, I am not this person, but you put him in that phase and in that stage, so he automatically begins to be broken by the words you say, broken by the statements you make, and broken by how you bring across certain things to him. And so that allows him to go into his shell as a man. It allows him to begin to think certain way, even some strong man, because you might see a man being tough, dominant, but at the same time, certain things that you can say to the man causes him emotionally to be in balance, even though he's strong, even though he put out that dominant side of him, but he can be on the inside hurt and torn. And so that can cause him to be, okay, listen, me are the man and me are the head of the house, as the Bible declares. But at the same time, he has a situation where he's afraid to approach you in order to have a discussion with you based on how you come across to him, based on how you treat him, based on how you evaluate him, based on how you bring certain statement, and that allows him to say, okay, I'm going to go into my shell. And this is why a lot of times for females, your man will go to your best friend, they will go to the mother, they will go to a sister, they will go to a female out there, based on if they're going through situations, based on how you approach them, or based on how you say certain things. So they begin to be into their shell, so they find somebody else to be that comforter friend, they find somebody else to confide in, because you do not know how to deal with them on an emotional level, because man does not display emotions like how ladies display emotions. And so what happened is that the man that does not display emotions like how ladies display emotion, you have to remember, be careful of how you bring across certain words, be careful of how you address him, because remember, he's not going to be like you, right? I've always said it, that a woman is emotionally unbalanced, right, than a man. That's why the Bible says, when I say emotionally unbalanced, I want you to say again. All right, so I want to say, why I say a woman is emotionally unbalanced, and yes, some females might disagree with me, but remember, the Bible speaks, and the Bible says that man is called to be the head, right? So, and this is what happened is that when the man is called to be the head, the man needs, as the Bible said, he took rib from man, create a woman. So the Bible says she's called to be the support system, right? She's called to be the helpmeet. She's called to be that softer side to the man. Especially, for example, when a man is going through a situation when he can't pay and bills them, right? Him not know how to display that emotional side. So, you know, him a go come home from work and him out there in a corner and him know say the light bill for pay, the water bill for pay. All of these things. Your job as a woman is to go to him and say, based on who you know him to be, you say, babes, me know say the bills and for pay. Just take it one step at a time. You know, show him that caring and emotional side. Bring him to that place of being at peace, because it's not every man know how to display their emotions, because they're not that side. There's not that side for some man, and so you have to be careful of how you adjust the situation as a woman. I hope I'm not taking too much up of your time, ma'am, and thing. So.
Okay. No, you did excellent. If anybody agree, please let me know. I strongly agree with everything. Yeah, you go church?
Yes, I do.
Which church you go?
At this moment, I used to attend the Breakthrough Ministry, but at this moment, I'm not there. I'm with a pastor friend of mine, and so that's where I'm at now. You know, but I my thing is this, and just to say I don't cut you, but my thing is this: I have a compassion, a caring nature to me when it comes to the level and the topics of relationship, right? The reason why I say this is that we have to understand, we have to begin to differentiate between love and being in love. There are two types of components there. And so a lot of times people don't understand the love and being in love. Why I say this, and just to make it quick, I don't want to take up your list, ma'am, but this is it. Love is a four-letter word, right? So you can say you love your partner, but whenever you and him have an argument, your head turn up, him head turn down, and the both of you vex, right? That's the difference, right? Now the big main key is being in love. When you're in love, even when you just don't argue, fuss and fight, you will be at a place where you say, all right, babes, come, whichever party, sit down, draw the chair and discuss the problem. That's the difference, right? Exactly. So why am I saying this is that when you look at the key components of who Christ is, can I just go there? When you look at the key components of who Christ is, the difference between man and God is because Christ was in love with us. And the demonstration that he gave was that, listen, if you're going to be in love with me, you must also be in love with your partner. Even when you're at a place where, listen, the man just do something to you will hurt you. And I'm not talking about the cheating part, but I'm saying verbally or, you know, emotionally, your job as a woman is to say, all right, listen, I still have a cooking food. I still have a pursue. The Bible says heap up coals of fire on his head. And so your job is to make him look within himself. Sometimes you don't fight battle being physical, but you fight battle being emotional, right? Get to his emotional side, draw him out. You get what I'm saying? Bring him to that place of understanding who he is. Because sometimes a woman feel like they need to argue with a man or draw a machete, draw a knife. No. Show the side which God give you. God gave you a caring and a loving side. So forget your partner to that place. You have to use what the Lord gives you in order to demonstrate that, right? So if you know the man negative, use a caring side. If you know the man not like cook, listen, cooking food same way, make him understand. So listen, me I cook it same way. It's up to you if you don't want to eat or not. Your job is to be a woman, right? And so
still have a comfortable, still have a nice.
Right. And all right, so can I say this? And that's one of the most important things. Why I say this is because if he and you, for example, should separate and say you there wherever and him there wherever, he can never, no woman can come across to him and say to him, say, why have your wife have ever done this? He can say, listen, if it's one thing I've ever said about my wife, I'm always comfortable even when we just have our arguments. And this is one of the most important things. Even when the man separate from you and gone, so he can speak good things about you. Why? Because you have made that footprints in his life. You get what I'm saying? For example, I can say this to you. I know of my mother. Even when my mother and my little brother father separated, at the time, he can speak highly of my mother. Can say, listen, clothes wash same way, even when me and I never dip on good terms. You get what I'm saying? Press, clothes press, food cook. Him still come home, come get him dinner. And I'm saying, ladies, wherever you go in life, and if you break up from your relationship, make sure say the man can speak good about you. Not make a man speak negative about you. Because if you make a man speak negative about you, that haunts you for the rest of your life. It doesn't mean that, listen, at the end of the day, he's going to go around and declare it. But somebody, you're going to be in a relationship, and the Bible says, whatever you speak from your mouth, that defies the temple. And so sometimes a man can speak something, as the Bible says, life and death is in the power of the tongue, and a man can speak a thing and it follows you for years and years to come. So you have to do your part, that certain things does not follow you. That's as the Bible said that generational curses can follow you, right? And so we have to be careful of how, same thing for the man then. We have to be careful of how we display certain things. You know what I say?
Wait, hold on, question. Fresh Unruly was asking, if you're in a relationship, you're married.
Huh?
You're married?
No, not at this time. Not at this time.
Guys, hello guys. Are you in a relationship?
No. Long story. I'll share that next time.
Ladies here, yes, one night, good single Christian and all these things having head on him body, pastor, preacher, all them things. Right here. If you don't want to send a rose, you know, but him have him little type still, but yeah. I have a question for you. I have a question.
Go ahead.
So, what if you and your husband, you and your girl, sorry,
right, no problem.
Is it wrong to sleep with your back turn and his back turn? Is that wrong?
No, it is wrong. Why I say it is wrong? Because firstly, the Bible said, do not let the sun go down. No, being vexed. Why? Because what happened is that when you being vexed with each other and turn the back with each other, it means that tomorrow you're going to get up in the same position, same way. Now that causes a lot of negative energy in your household, in the atmosphere. That causes you now to be at a place where you go to work and come back in this same situation. Now you have to break it, because it can become a cycle. Why I say it can become a cycle? Because what happens is that emotional feelings will begin to develop, where you're saying, okay, we're around the dinner table, but we're not having a discussion. You know me, I say, him take up him phone and call him best friend, or you take up your phone and call your best friend. That's emotional problems within the atmosphere, and so that causes a whole lot of problem within the marriage. So it makes no sense if you can even say 2 words, good night, babes, love you. That's it. You get what I'm saying? Tomorrow you get up and you say the same thing. Start something, even though you're vexed with each other. Because what you do is that a lot of people don't understand the reason why a lot of relationships don't last, marriages don't last, is because of how we communicate our love language. Our love language is something that is very, very important. Why I say it's very important is because, listen, you can speak the word, but you don't know how to live the word. It is easy to get up and say, I love you, but then what are you doing to show me that I love you? You get what I'm saying? You oftentimes people put on a ring on each other's finger, and then this is it. As I said before, you will get up and being vexed with each other, but what is the love language saying to you? The love language is saying, even though I'm vexed with you, I'm still going to be there for you. You're going through an emotional situation, I'm still going to be there for you. You get what I'm saying? Even though I know that, listen, we have the moment when we never get the good sex, but listen, I still want the fear. You get what I'm saying? So the love language is different from the feelings. The feeling that you have is vexation feelings, emotional feelings, and that can cause the problem within your love language. You get what I'm saying? So you have to be careful of how you destroy your own love language. You know? So I'm just saying.
Wow. All right. Thank you so much. Guys,
yes, ma'am.
Please follow Evan.
And Eva.
Whenever I'm going on live, I'll let you know so we can have you back on, because you really said some facts like, wow.
Sure, no problem. Yes, I do.
All right, so let's hear some comments based off what you were saying. Not because the man in a relationship doesn't make his points valid. Hi, who was the person that sent the rose, guys? Follow. Oh God, thank you so much. You see that? Guys, send him a rose stuff. Send him a rose. Send him, follow him, because we're gonna have him back on. Nobody try to tell the man what the Bible never said. Jesus Father. Straight facts him at man. Straight facts at it. Look like she never know that. Of course we didn't know. Yeah, we didn't know. In a out of vex and a turn back. Hi guys, please guys, follow this person here.